Long before humans claimed the earth as their own, before empires rose and fell, before history even bothered to record the first kings, giants walked among us. Not myths, not fairy tales, real beings, taller than the tallest trees, stronger than the strongest armies, and sharper than any human mind could comprehend. Their footsteps shook the ground. Their presence altered the very air. They were called the Nephilim, children of angels and humans according to forbidden texts like the Book of Enoch. Texts that were hidden, burned, or erased because they revealed truths too dangerous for mankind. Imagine a world where a single being could lift a mountain, carve cities from stone in a single day, and see events before they happened. Imagine weapons that could obliterate armies, towers that scraped the clouds, and knowledge of the universe's hidden laws. That was the earth of the Nephilim. And humanity? Humanity was nothing but ants beneath their feet. And yet, it didn't last. They vanished, erased, almost overnight. Some say it was the Great Flood, divine punishment for their hubris. Others suggest something far darker, a deliberate erasure by forces that feared their knowledge. Because the Nephilim did not just possess strength, they held secrets. Secrets about angels, about the cosmos, about the potential locked inside every human soul. Secrets that could have rewritten history, toppled kingdoms, and reshaped reality itself. Think about it. Every ancient civilization has stories of giants. Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Americas, India, the far reaches of Europe. Even Islamic history contains hints, whispers, warnings. Why would so many disconnected cultures speak of the same terrifying beings? Because they were real, and because someone, or something, wanted humanity to forget. Ruins exist, massive stone structures whose construction defies logic. Towers aligned to stars, massive underground chambers, cryptic carvings that hum with an unearthly energy. Scholars call it impossible, but it isn't. These are remnants, remnants of a power humans were never meant to touch, and some of these ruins may still hold fragments of that power. Picture yourself walking through one of these forgotten cities. Walls taller than skyscrapers, statues that dwarf buildings, tunnels stretching beyond sight. And as you explore, you realize that every corner, every stone, carries a story erased from history. A warning, a puzzle, and maybe a trap. Because the giants weren't just flesh and bone. They were connected to forces humans barely understand. Forces that still linger, watching, waiting. Some scholars argue that the Nephilim weren't entirely destroyed. They claim that a few survived, hidden in remote regions, watching over humanity from the shadows. Others believe their knowledge was encoded into the ruins, secret texts, and artifacts that were later buried or forbidden. And what's terrifying is that even a hint of this knowledge could change everything we think we know about our world. The Book of Enoch says the giants taught humans things that angels weren't supposed to reveal. Astrology, metallurgy, medicine, warfare, and forbidden knowledge about the heavens, the stars, and the cosmos. Things that could awaken potential inside humans, or destroy us entirely. And once, humanity glimpsed this power, and it terrified the powers that be. That's why every trace was systematically erased. That's why history forgets the giants, why the earth swallowed their cities, why we call them myths today. But myths are rarely random. Myths persist for a reason, and every legend, every story, every whisper across continents is a warning. For those who dare to see, for those curious enough to look beyond the veil. Now, imagine finding a hidden chamber, untouched for millennia. Inside, walls carved with symbols not seen in any human language. A central altar, massive enough to seat a king, and perhaps a god. And inscriptions. Inscriptions describing events, celestial alignments, and rituals of unimaginable power. Some believe these rituals could open doors to other realms. Other scholars say it could awaken forces humanity is unprepared to face. And here's the part that chills the blood. The giants weren't just powerful. They were intelligent, strategic. Some texts suggest they tried to teach humanity, to elevate us, to prepare us. But we weren't ready. Our greed, our fear, our inability to comprehend, it led to catastrophe. They fell. They were destroyed, or perhaps hidden, and the earth forgot them. But the echoes remain. Across the globe, from the Andes to the Himalayas, From the deserts of Africa to the frozen reaches of the Arctic, traces exist. Massive footprints, stones impossibly moved, ruins misaligned with history. And every one of these traces carries a single question: what would happen if humanity finally remembered? Some believe the giants' return is inevitable, that knowledge lost to time is not gone forever, that the moment humans are ready or desperate enough, the gates to their wisdom, their power, their world will reopen. And when that happens, everything will change. And here's the most dangerous truth. Even now, some humans are seeking it. Scholars, treasure hunters, secret societies, chasing ruins, ancient texts, whispers of power. And what they find might not just shock them. It could consume them. Because the Nephilim's power was never meant for the unprepared. So, ask yourself this. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Are you ready to see what history has tried to erase? To walk among ruins older than empires? To glimpse knowledge humanity has been too afraid to touch? If you are, then subscribe now. Because the giants' world is not just history. It's a warning, a challenge, a glimpse into a reality that could awaken or destroy everything we know. Parvaz Legacy isn't here to entertain. We are here to awaken.